So the sand is just right, the texture, that we can do some jumps and make a visual reading of it. It's going to leave an imprint in the ground. So try to analyze the force and all that. So I'm going to start off going my favorite angle off 2 feet. I'm going to try it, and we'll just read the feet. We'll see what happens. Okay, so there's two sets of prints. Oh man, did I lose them? Like, these are the outside. Okay, here we go. These are the outside. These are the landing. Okay, so I'm going right to left. I broke a full 180 degrees because I was running this way. And you can see that the left doesn't do very much. I'm not creating much force with my left when I'm jumping 2 foot to the left. So most of the force is with the right leg, pretty clearly, you can just tell. The toes do a surprising amount. You can see that it's definitely an arch. So I'm applying, which implies that I'm applying force to the outside of my foot. I'm braking with potentially the back heel, right? Makes sense? So that tells us a little bit. The left's really not doing too much at all. You can tell the left heel doesn't even get down, doesn't touch down. T-dubs doesn't, so I think that maybe there's something to that. Move on to the landing. Is this really the landing? Like, it's not very far away, and the prints are really small, which is good. So my landing is very good, as you can tell visually. If this is the jump, and this is the land. First of all, I didn't rotate in the air, which is interesting. Didn't travel that far either. We can see that, yeah, just visually the jump is a lot more than the landing, so I can work on my jumping. My landing's very good, which means there's not really very much impact going to my body on this. It looks to be a bit equal. We see some left toe action, which is interesting. Actually, yeah, it's nice to see action on the outside of the feet, which implies that I'm externally rotating my knees outward. The fact that's telling me that I'm externally rotating, which is good. Got all the depth in my landing. Okay, so I like it. Now I'm going to try going off 2 steps to my unpreferred. Going off the left and then the right. We'll take a look at it. Okay, so here's the jumping steps. Here's the landing steps. The landing doesn't look as... This jump looks less forceful. Oh hell, this is seeping into the sand. This jump looks less forceful than with the other. And that's because it was. I don't think I jump as high this way. It's telling me a lot already though. So we see the right is doing more than the left, whereas in the last one it was about equal. We're seeing that I'm spreading. These prints are sinking in the sand. So I'm okay with this landing. I'm going to get more with my left. We can just see the left isn't doing as much. Here the right does even comparable amount to the left, although the heel still doesn't touch down, which means I'm not really generating the force with my left. My left leg is weaker, and maybe it's a mental issue too, but this tells me a lot. It just visually confirms what I've been thinking, is my left. It gives me new information too. It's pretty interesting. So why don't we do a 1 foot, a couple 1 foot. I'm interested to see this. First going to the left, my preferred. Alright, so I can't really tell. Going this way. Step here. I think this was my jump step. Because there's that step, then this step, Then this is my landing. Okay, yeah, so that's interesting. That's interesting. I think if I get my heel down, I'll get farther, actually. I think on one foot you want to get your heel down. I'm not sure, so I'm going to try again and see how it feels. That's the main thing it told me. We'll check the landing also. Alright, I believe this was the jump step. It has more force in it now, which is good, I guess. I don't know, yeah, okay. You just have to apply a lot of force. It's fine to apply force, I think. Apply more force through the ground, going up, then, I don't know, it's hard to say. It's interesting that my readings are, there's more force created in the jumping than the landing, it appears, because the landing steps are quite a bit smaller, which means my landing's good. It's really curious. It's really curious to me. Okay, let's try with the going to the right, my unpreferred. Didn't even pull it off, just choked. Super unpreferred. Weird, okay. This looks like a really good jump step I just took, actually. I felt like I got up high. It's super nice print. And it's force seems to be applied pretty equally throughout it. Again, we see, the outside of the foot, which is good. And then I believe this is the landing. I traveled 180 in the air. I jumped off my left and then landed with my left. And then into my right. These landings look okay. Definitely it's all on the toes in the front of the foot. And that would explain why maybe I'm having shin pain. And then step into the right. This is more than I would want by the second step landing. I feel like I would want less force, but I'm not exactly sure. If you're into this, holler at me. This is super, super interesting. I think incredibly valuable. Yeah, and pretty affordable potentially. I mean, if you're around a beach like this once a year, maybe, or not a beach like this, but a beach that has something like it. If not, hell, man, maybe it's something to have in the facilities later, or just maybe this is a better way to live. But I think that these readings are definitely going to help me jump higher. So I encourage you to copy this if you can.